If this found you, it wasn't an accident. I want you to sit with that for a moment before we go anywhere else. Before the science, before the quantum mechanics, before the radiance practices that are going to change the way you move through your days. I want you to feel what it means that this particular transmission reached you at this particular moment in your life. Not yesterday, not a week from now. Today, this hour, this specific convergence of your attention and this specific signal. There is a precision to that which deserves your full recognition before we go a single step further. Because here is what I know about your energy field right now. Something in it has been shifting. Something in the electromagnetic signature your heart generates and broadcasts into the quantum field around you has been moving, reorganizing, reorienting, reaching toward a new frequency. You might not have the language for it yet. You might have been calling it restlessness, or longing, or this strange, quiet certainty that something is about to change. You might have been calling it a feeling in your gut that doesn't quite match the surface of your life. You might have been waking at odd hours with a sense that something is trying to come through. Not a problem, not a fear, but a possibility, a readiness, a threshold you can feel but haven't yet fully named. But I want to give you the real name for what's happening in your field. You are standing at a turning point, not a metaphorical one, not a motivational poster kind of turning point. A genuine, measurable, quantum mechanical inflection point in the trajectory of your personal energy field, and everything that field assembles around you as your lived reality. An inflection point is a precise mathematical term. It is the moment on a curve when the direction of change itself changes. When what was curving one way begins to curve another. And that is what is happening in the mathematics of your own field right now. The direction of your trajectory is shifting, not incrementally, fundamentally. And here is the thing about turning points at the quantum level that most people never learn. They don't announce themselves with drama. They don't arrive with trumpets or obvious signs or sudden, unmistakable clarity. They arrive as a quiet pull, a video that finds you on a day when you almost didn't watch it. A feeling in your chest that says, pay attention. A moment of stillness in which something deeper than thought whispers that you are closer to your best life than you have ever been. A thumbnail that says something your soul already knows. A sense of recognition so complete it almost feels like memory rather than discovery. That's what's happening right now. in your field in this moment. And by the time we reach the end of this transmission together, you are going to understand exactly what a timeline is at the quantum level, why your aura is the instrument that determines which one you inhabit, what your field is currently broadcasting that has been drawing this moment toward you, and most importantly, what it means that the thumbnail you saw before you clicked said something that your soul already knows is true. Congratulations. You cannot lose. Not as a platitude, not as encouragement, as a precise description of what happens when a personal energy field reaches a certain level of coherence and conscious activation. When your aura is radiating at the frequency we are going to explore today, losing becomes structurally impossible. Not because life stops presenting challenges, not because the road ahead will be smooth and uninterrupted and free of difficulty, but because a coherent, conscious, luminous energy field converts every challenge into trajectory data, every setback into course correction, every closed door into navigation toward the open one. A coherent field does not encounter obstacles the way an incoherent field does. It finds pathways through them that an incoherent field cannot even perceive. You cannot lose when you understand what your field is actually doing. So let's begin. Let's go all the way into your light. Right now, as you listen to these words, your heart is generating an electromagnetic field. This is not a spiritual claim. This is measurable physics. The Heart Math Institute, one of the most rigorous research organizations studying the relationship between human physiology and the quantum field, has documented that the electromagnetic field generated by the human heart extends several feet beyond the physical body in every direction. It can be measured with sensitive magnetometers. It carries information. It interacts with the fields of other people, and at a level that quantum physics is only beginning to fully articulate, with the probability structures of physical reality itself. Your heart is not just a pump. I want you to really hear that. The conventional model of the heart as a mechanical pump that circulates blood is accurate as far as it goes, but it goes nowhere near far enough. Your heart is a sophisticated electromagnetic generator. It is the primary source of the electromagnetic field in your body, producing an electrical field approximately 60 times greater in amplitude than the electrical activity of the brain, and a magnetic field that is measurably present several feet beyond your skin in every direction. The heart communicates with the brain through multiple pathways. neurological, biochemical, biophysical, and energetic. And the signals it sends upward to the brain actually influence perception, cognition, and emotional processing in ways that neuroscience is still working to fully map. This field is your aura, not a mystical cloud of color visible only to psychics. A real, measurable, information-carrying electromagnetic field that radiates from the center of your chest and reaches into the world around you before you ever open your mouth, before you take a single action, before you make a single decision. Your aura arrives in every room before you do. It speaks to every person you encounter before you say a word. It introduces you to the universe before your conscious mind has a chance to curate the introduction. And it interfaces with the quantum field, with the vast probabilistic ocean of potential that underlies physical reality, broadcasting a signal that influences which possibilities collapse into your actual lived experience. This is what a timeline is at the quantum level. Not a science fiction concept, a probability pathway, a particular thread of possibility that becomes your experienced reality based on the frequency of the signal your field is broadcasting into the quantum foam of potential. Every moment, countless probability pathways exist. The one that becomes your lived experience, the one that collapses from potential into actual, is not random. It is not determined by fate. It is shaped profoundly and continuously by the frequency of your personal energy field. Quantum mechanics, the actual physics, not the pop culture version, tells us that at the subatomic level, reality is not fixed. Particles exist in superposition, meaning they exist as a spread of probabilities until they are observed, until they interact with a measuring system. The act of observation, the act of a conscious field engaging with quantum probability, collapses those probabilities into a specific outcome, a specific reality, a specific timeline. This is not a metaphor. This is what the equations describe. This is what the experiments confirm. Reality at the quantum level is participatory. It is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens with you, with your field, with your aura, with the electromagnetic signal your heart generates and broadcasts into the probability structure of the universe. Your aura is a measuring system. Your personal electromagnetic field, generated by your heart and nervous system, is constantly interacting with quantum probability. It is constantly, in the most literal physical sense, participating in the collapse of potential into actual. And the frequency of your field, whether it is coherent or incoherent, expansive or contracted, broadcasting from love or from fear, determines the probability distribution of what collapses into your experience. This is what it means to be standing at the turning point of your best timeline. It doesn't mean everything in your past has been perfect. It doesn't mean you haven't struggled, haven't contracted, haven't broadcast frequencies you wouldn't consciously choose. It doesn't mean the path behind you has been a straight line toward this moment. It means that right now, in this moment, something in your field has reached a threshold, a level of coherence, of readiness, of luminous potential that is making the best version of your timeline, the richest, most alive, most genuinely you version of your life, more probable than it has ever been before. And the fact that this found you is not separate from that. It is part of it. The probability that brought this transmission into your experience is the same probability structure that is reorganizing around your field right now. Your aura called this in. Your light reached for this, even when you didn't know you were reaching. Even in the moments when you felt like you were moving in the wrong direction, your field was orienting. Even in the moments when you felt most lost, the compass of your electromagnetic signal was pointing toward this. What we're touching today is one layer of something much larger. And if you feel something shifting in your chest right now as this lands, that recognition is precisely where the remembering field, a quantum guide to returning to the light you forgot you were carrying, begins. It takes you through all 7 movements from unconscious broadcast to conscious, coherent radiance, grounded in the quantum mechanics of your actual electromagnetic field. If you want the complete map of how your signal works and how to return it to its native coherence, it's linked in the pinned comment below. Let me show you something about how this actually works. Quantum physicists talk about a phenomenon called quantum entanglement. When 2 particles interact, they can become entangled, meaning the state of one instantly influences the state of the other, regardless of the distance between them. Einstein famously called this spooky action at a distance because it seemed to violate everything classical physics understood about how information travels. But it's real. It's been experimentally verified thousands of times. 2 particles, once connected, remain connected across any distance. What happens to one is instantaneously reflected in the other. The connection does not attenuate with distance. It does not require a signal to travel between them. It simply is. a fundamental feature of how entangled systems relate to each other across the fabric of reality. Now here is where this gets personally extraordinary for you. Your heart field, your aura, is not a closed system. It is constantly interacting with the fields around it, with people, with places, with the energetic signature of events and opportunities and possibilities that exist in your probable future. And through those interactions, your field becomes entangled, not in the way individual particles become entangled, but in a functionally analogous way. Your energy field creates resonant connections with the frequencies that match it. And those connections are not limited by conventional distance or conventional time. This is why you sometimes think of someone right before they call. This is why you sometimes feel a pull toward a place or a decision before you have any logical reason to go there. This is why you sometimes wake in the middle of the night with a clarity about something that your daytime mind had been unable to reach. This is why sometimes a video finds you at exactly the moment you needed it, not because of an algorithm, though algorithms are real, but because your field was resonating at a frequency that made this particular transmission part of your probability landscape. Your aura reached for it. Your field called it in. The algorithm was simply the physical mechanism through which the quantum field delivered what your aura was already broadcasting a readiness to receive. Your aura has been navigating toward this turning point, even in the moments when you felt lost, even in the moments when you felt like you were moving backward, even in the moments when the gap between where you were and where you wanted to be felt so large that moving toward it seemed impossible. Your field was orienting. Your light was reaching. And now you are here. And here is what I need you to understand about the thumbnail that brought you in. Congratulations. You cannot lose. This is not a promise about what will happen. It is a description of what is true about a field that has reached coherent activation. Let me explain exactly what that means. There is a concept in quantum physics called a strange attractor. In chaos theory, which is deeply related to quantum mechanics, a strange attractor is a pattern that a complex system keeps returning to, regardless of where it starts. Even when the system is disturbed, even when it moves far from its equilibrium, it keeps being drawn back toward the attractor pattern. The attractor doesn't force the system. It draws it. Through the mathematics of the system's own dynamics, through the inherent structure of how that system processes energy and information, it keeps finding its way back to the attractor. The attractor is not a destination the system is trying to reach. It is the pattern that the system's own nature keeps generating. Your best timeline is a strange attractor in your quantum field. The most alive, most radiant, most genuinely expressed version of your life is not a distant destination you have to fight your way toward. It is the pattern that your field keeps returning to when you stop forcing it away. When you stop broadcasting frequencies of contraction and fear and not enoughness that push your probability field away from its natural attractor. When you allow your aura to radiate at its natural frequency, coherent, expansive, luminous, your best timeline stops being a dream and starts being the inevitable direction of your quantum trajectory. The attractor does its work. The mathematics of your own field does its work, and reality assembles around the pattern that your signal keeps returning to. You cannot lose because your best timeline is built into the attractor structure of your own energy field. It is not something you have to earn. It is something you have to allow. And allowing it begins with understanding your own light. If this transmission is landing in your field the way I feel it is, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. There is so much more of this work to explore together. Now let's go deeper. So let's go deeper into what your aura is actually doing right now. Let's look at your field with clear eyes and see what it has been broadcasting. Unconsciously, automatically, without your deliberate choice, and what it is beginning to broadcast now that you are becoming conscious of your own signal. Most people radiate unconsciously their entire lives. This is not a criticism. It is simply what happens when no one teaches you that you have a field, that it broadcasts, that what it broadcasts shapes what reality delivers to you. You grow up absorbing the frequencies of the people around you, your family's patterns of fear or love or lack or abundance, and those frequencies become your default broadcast without you ever choosing them. Your aura learns to radiate what it was soaked in. The electromagnetic signature of your caregivers, your community, your culture becomes the electromagnetic signature of your own field, not because you chose it, but because fields are permeable. They absorb, they mirror, they entrain to the dominant frequency in their environment. And then life seems to confirm those patterns, because a field broadcasting lack tends to interact with the probability structure in ways that make lack more probable. A field broadcasting fear tends to navigate toward experiences that confirm the fear, not as punishment, as physics. Not because the universe is withholding anything from you, because your field is only able to receive signals that are in resonance with what it's broadcasting. The rest passes through without interacting. The rest remains invisible, inaccessible, outside the range of what your aura can detect and draw toward you. The quantum field doesn't judge your broadcast. It doesn't decide you deserve struggle or ease. It simply responds to the frequency it receives. Like a radio tower that broadcasts whatever signal it's given, the quantum field amplifies and reflects the frequency of your aura back into your experienced reality. It is a perfect mirror. It has always been a perfect mirror. And once you understand that, everything about your life begins to make a different kind of sense. Not a painful sense, a clarifying one. Because if your field has been broadcasting unconsciously, and life has been reflecting that unconscious broadcast, then the moment your broadcast becomes conscious, the moment you deliberately tune your signal, the reflection changes. But here is where everything changes. And I mean everything. The moment you become conscious of your signal, the moment you stop radiating unconsciously and start radiating deliberately, the power of your broadcast increases by an order of magnitude that is difficult to overstate. A conscious broadcast is not just slightly more effective than an unconscious one. It is categorically different. It is the difference between a candle and a laser. Both are light, but a laser, coherent light, light whose waves are aligned and amplified and directed, can do things a candle cannot even approach. A candle illuminates a room. A laser can cut through steel, transmit information across continents, perform surgery with micrometer precision. Same fundamental phenomenon. Completely different power. Completely different capability. Completely different relationship with the world it touches. Consciousness is the coherence mechanism of your aura. When you become aware of your field, you begin to align its waves. When you deliberately choose the frequency you broadcast, when you consciously tune your heart's electromagnetic signal toward love, toward expansion, toward gratitude, toward the luminous certainty that your best timeline is real and reachable. Your aura stops scattering its energy in all directions and begins radiating a coherent beam. And that coherent beam has a completely different relationship with quantum probability than a scattered, unconscious broadcast does. It reaches further. It carries more information. It interacts with the probability structure of reality with greater precision and greater power. This is why the moment you clicked on this video, the moment you said yes to understanding your own energy field, something shifted. Not symbolically, actually. The act of turning conscious attention toward your own light begins the coherence process. You don't have to do anything else yet. The attention itself is the beginning of the alignment. The willingness to see your own signal is the first act of tuning it. Your aura knows. It has always known. And now you are beginning to know with it. I want to tell you a story, a parable that might help you feel what we've been exploring. Not just understand it intellectually, but feel it in your body, in your field, in the place where your heart generates its signal. There was a woman named Soleil who lived in a city of radio towers. Every person in this city was a tower. Every person broadcast a signal day and night, whether they knew it or not. The signals filled the air, millions of frequencies overlapping, interfering, sometimes harmonizing, sometimes canceling each other out. Most people in the city had never been told they were towers. They had never been told they broadcast. They simply lived their lives, and their signals radiated around them, invisible and unacknowledged, shaping everything while remaining unseen. Soleil was one of these people. She was not unhappy exactly, but she had the feeling that she was living slightly adjacent to her real life, like her actual life was happening in another room, and she was standing in the hallway, pressing her ear to the door. She worked hard. She was kind. She tried. She tried genuinely and consistently and with real heart. But the things she most wanted, the deep belonging, the creative work that made her feel alive, the sense of being fully seen and met by the world, kept arriving as almost there, almost enough, almost. She had begun to wonder if almost was simply the shape of her life, if the hallway was where she lived. One day, Soleil met an old man who sat in the center of the city's main square. He wasn't doing anything remarkable. He was simply sitting. But something about him made the air around him feel different, warmer, more still, more full of possibility. People who walked past him slowed down without knowing why. Dogs stopped and looked at him. Children smiled at him before their parents could redirect them. There was a quality of spaciousness around him, as if the ordinary air had more room in it than usual. Soleil sat down beside him and asked what he was doing. He said, I am broadcasting. She looked at him. She said, broadcasting what? He smiled. He said, what I know to be true, what I know about my own nature, what I know about this moment, what I know about what is possible, what I know about the extraordinary fact of being alive in a body on this particular day, in this particular square, in this particular city, surrounded by all these towers who don't yet know they're towers. Soleil frowned. She said, but you're not doing anything. You're just sitting there. He nodded. He said, yes. Most people think broadcasting requires action, but the signal comes first. The action is just how the signal expresses itself in the physical world. The signal is the cause. The action is the effect. Most people spend their entire lives rearranging the effects while never touching the cause. They change their strategies, their environments, their relationships, their routines, and they are always puzzled when the same patterns keep appearing, because they have never changed the signal that is generating the patterns. Soleil sat with this. She said, so what's my signal? What am I broadcasting? The old man looked at her for a long moment. He said, right now? You are broadcasting the frequency of almost. You are radiating a signal that says, I am close to what I want, but not quite there. I can see it, but I cannot reach it. I am worthy of it, but not quite worthy enough. I am ready for it, but not quite ready enough. And the quantum field, which does not judge, which simply responds, is delivering to you a reality that perfectly matches that signal. Almost. 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 Soleil felt something move in her chest. Not pain exactly. Recognition. The particular quality of recognition that comes when someone names something you have been living but never had words for. She said, how do I change it? He said, you already have. The moment you asked that question, the moment you became conscious of your signal, the frequency shifted. Consciousness is the tuning mechanism. You don't change your broadcast by pretending to feel something you don't. You don't change it by performing a different frequency on the surface while the old one keeps running underneath. You change it by becoming aware of what you're actually broadcasting, and then gently, deliberately, with the full weight of your attention, choosing something different, not performing a different frequency, generating it from the inside, from the place where your heart makes its signal, from the deepest layer of what you actually know to be true about yourself. Soleil closed her eyes. She felt her chest. She felt the field around her, something she had never consciously noticed before, but which she could suddenly feel as clearly as she could feel the sun on her face. She felt the almost. She felt the not quite. She felt the reaching that never quite arrived. She felt the hallway she had been standing in, ear pressed to the door of her own life. And then she made a choice that changed the trajectory of her life. She chose to actually feel, in her body, in her field, in the electromagnetic signal her heart was generating, what it would feel like to be fully there, not almost, not reaching, there, home, arrived, received, seen, alive in the life that was actually hers. She didn't try to imagine it vaguely. She let it be specific. She let herself feel the warmth of genuine belonging, the aliveness of creative work that poured through her rather than being forced out of her, the quality of being met, truly, completely met by another person, by her work, by the world. She let those feelings become real in her body, not as a fantasy, as a present moment electromagnetic event. She sat with that feeling for a long time, long enough for it to stop being an imagined feeling and start being an actual one, long enough for her field to actually shift, for the electromagnetic signature of her heart to actually change its pattern, long enough for the quantum field around her to begin receiving a different signal, long enough for the almost to give way to the arrived, at least in the frequency layer of her experience, at least in the signal she was now broadcasting into the probability structure of her life. When she opened her eyes, the old man was smiling. He said, "Do you feel that?" She said, "Yes." He said, "That is your real broadcast. That is the frequency of your actual life. And now that you've generated it once, now that your field knows what it feels like, it will keep finding its way back there, like a river that has found its channel. It will keep flowing toward that. The channel is cut now. The signal knows its frequency. Every time you return to it, the channel deepens. Every time you choose it, the signal grows stronger. Soleil walked home through the city of radio towers, and for the first time, she could feel the signals around her. The fear, the longing, the hope, the love, the almost of so many people who had never been told they were towers. and she felt something she had never felt before. Not superiority, not separation, compassion. The particular compassion that comes from recognition, because she knew what it was to broadcast unconsciously. She knew what it was to radiate almost. She knew what it was to stand in the hallway of your own life and wonder why the door never fully opened. And she knew that every single person in that city had a real signal underneath the unconscious one, a luminous frequency that was their actual nature, that was waiting to be chosen, that had always been waiting, that had never stopped waiting, that would never stop waiting, because it was not separate from them. It was them, at the deepest layer of their electromagnetic being. She never became famous. She never became rich in the way the world counts wealth. But the things she had longed for, the belonging, the creative aliveness, the being fully seen and met, arrived steadily, naturally, as if they had always been on their way and had simply been waiting for her signal to match them. Because they had been. They were always on their way. They just needed her frequency to call them in. Your signal is calling things in right now. Let's make sure it's calling in what you actually want. I want to take you into a radiance practice. This is not a meditation in the conventional sense. This is an active, deliberate, embodied process of tuning your aura, of consciously adjusting the frequency of your heart's electromagnetic broadcast so that it begins to resonate with the timeline you are ready to inhabit. This is not about thinking your way into a feeling. It is about generating an actual electromagnetic event in your body. A real shift in the signal your heart is producing. A genuine tuning of your aura. Find a comfortable position. If you're driving or doing something that requires your full attention, save this practice for later and simply let the words land in your field for now. But if you can, settle in. Let your body soften. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw release. Let your breath slow without forcing it. Not a breath you're controlling, but a breath that's being allowed. Place one hand on your chest, right over your heart center. Not as a symbolic gesture, as a physical act of directing your attention to the place where your electromagnetic field is generated. Your heart is not just a pump. It is a sophisticated electromagnetic generator, and the field it generates responds to your attention, to your intention, to the emotional signals you consciously direct through it. The simple act of placing your hand on your chest and genuinely attending to what's happening there is itself a coherence-initiating gesture. Heart math research has shown that this kind of focused heart attention begins to shift the heart's rhythm toward coherence within seconds. Feel the warmth of your hand on your chest. Feel the beat of your heart beneath your palm. Feel that beat as what it actually is, not just a biological rhythm, but a broadcast, a pulse of electromagnetic energy radiating outward from the center of your being in every direction. With every beat, your field extends. With every beat, it carries information about you, about your frequency, your coherence, your signal, into the quantum field around you. Every beat is a transmission. Every beat is your aura speaking to the probability structure of your life. Now I want you to bring to mind a moment when you felt genuinely, fully alive. Not a perfect moment necessarily. Not a moment when everything was ideal or every circumstance was favorable, but a moment when you felt real, present, lit up from the inside. Maybe it was a moment in nature when you felt the bigness of the world and your place in it, when the sky or the ocean or the mountains made you feel both small and vast at the same time. Maybe it was a moment of genuine connection with another person, when you were truly seen and you truly saw, when the ordinary barriers between people dissolved and something real passed between you. Maybe it was a moment of creative flow, when something moved through you that felt larger than your ordinary self, when the work was making itself and you were simply the instrument. Maybe it was a moment of simple, profound gratitude, when the ordinary beauty of being alive hit you like a wave, and you were, for that instant, completely here, completely present, completely yourself. Find that moment. Let it be specific. Let it be real. Let it be embodied. Not a thought about the moment, but the felt sense of the moment itself. Alive in your body right now. Don't reach for an abstract feeling of happiness. Find a real moment when your field was naturally coherent, when your heart was broadcasting at its actual frequency, not because you were trying to, but because the aliveness of that moment made the coherence inevitable. Let that moment fill your chest. Let it radiate outward from your hand. Feel it as a warmth, as an expansion, as a quality of light that moves through your body and beyond it. This is not imagination. This is your electromagnetic field responding to a coherent emotional signal. This is your aura tuning itself. This is the physics of your own heart, doing exactly what it was designed to do when you give it the right signal to work with. Now I want you to let that feeling, that warmth, that expansion, that quality of aliveness become your broadcast. Not just a memory, a present moment signal. Let your heart generate it now. Let it radiate now. Feel your field expanding with it, moving outward from your chest in every direction, reaching beyond the boundaries of your body, touching the space around you with the frequency of your real nature. Feel it moving into the room you're in. Feel it moving into the air around you. Feel it reaching into the quantum field that underlies the physical world, the vast probabilistic ocean of potential that is always listening to your signal. This is your signal when it's coherent. This is what your aura broadcasts when it's not dimmed by fear or contraction or unconscious conditioning. This is the frequency that your best timeline resonates with. This is the broadcast that calls in the people, the opportunities, the synchronicities, the turning points that belong to your highest trajectory. Stay here for a moment. Let your field radiate this frequency. Let it go out into the quantum field around you. Let the probability structure of your life begin to reorganize around this signal. You don't have to do anything else right now. You don't have to figure anything out, or plan anything, or force anything. Just broadcast. Just let your field be coherent. Just let your light be on. You are broadcasting your best timeline right now. Feel that. Your aura knows. Your light is on. Now gently, when you're ready, let your hand rest back in your lap. But carry this frequency with you. Don't let it collapse back into unconsciousness the moment the practice ends. This is the practice, not the formal minutes of the exercise, but the ongoing, daily, moment-by-moment choice to maintain awareness of your signal. To keep checking in with your field. To keep asking the question, what am I broadcasting right now? And to keep choosing, as often as you can remember to choose, the frequency of your real nature. Every time you remember to ask that question, you are being the laser rather than the candle. Every time you return to the coherent frequency, you deepen the channel. This is how timelines shift. Not in dramatic moments of sudden transformation, though those happen too. In the accumulation of conscious choices to broadcast coherently. In the daily practice of returning your field to its natural frequency when it drifts toward fear or contraction. In the growing momentum of a signal that keeps pointing with increasing clarity and power toward the life that is actually yours. And I want to pause here and ask you something from that place. Has there been a moment in your life when you walked into a room and felt the energy shift? When something in your presence seemed to change the atmosphere? Or when someone responded to you in a way that surprised you, as if they were meeting a version of you that felt more real, more radiant, more fully here? I would love to hear about that in the comments. Share what you noticed. Share what it felt like, because the field of people gathered here is listening, and your experience is part of the collective luminosity we are building together. Now let's go deeper into the mechanics of what just happened in your field, because there is a layer of aura science that most people never encounter, and it is the layer that makes the difference between a turning point that actually turns and one that fades back into the background of ordinary life. The HeartMath Institute's research has identified a specific physiological state called heart coherence. In this state, the rhythm of the heartbeat becomes highly ordered, not perfectly regular, but rhythmically complex in a specific way that reflects harmony between the heart, the nervous system, the brain, and the body as a whole. In heart coherence, the electromagnetic field generated by the heart becomes more organized, more powerful, and more far-reaching. It extends further beyond the body. It carries a clearer, more consistent signal, and it has measurable effects on the people and environments it touches. Researchers have found that when one person enters heart coherence, it can entrain the heart rhythms of people nearby, even without physical contact, even without conscious intention. Your coherent field literally influences the fields of the people around you. This is not a metaphor for being a positive influence. This is a measurable electromagnetic phenomenon. Your aura, when coherent, actively contributes to the coherence of the fields around it. You become, in the most literal sense, a stabilizing force, a luminous presence, a signal that helps other signals find their own coherence. What triggers heart coherence? Specific emotional states. Gratitude, love, compassion, care, appreciation. These are not just nice feelings. They are physiological triggers that shift the heart's rhythm into coherence and amplify the power and reach of the aura. This is why every spiritual tradition in human history has pointed toward love as the highest frequency, not because of poetic sentiment, because love, as a physiological electromagnetic state, literally amplifies the power of your personal energy field. It is not the highest frequency because someone decided it should be. It is the highest frequency because the physics of the human heart makes it so. And here is what this means for your timeline. When your heart is in coherence, when you are genuinely in a state of love, gratitude, or appreciation, your aura's interaction with quantum probability is at its most powerful. The signal is clearest. The reach is greatest. The influence on which possibilities collapse into your experience is strongest. This is why the moments in your life when you have felt most alive, most grateful, most genuinely loving, have also tended to be the moments when extraordinary things happened. When synchronicities multiplied, when the right person appeared at the right time, when an opportunity arrived that seemed to come from nowhere, when the world seemed to lean toward you with an almost conspiratorial generosity. It didn't come from nowhere. It came from your field, from the coherent broadcast of your heart at its highest frequency, from your aura reaching into quantum probability, and through the sheer power of its resonance, drawing toward you the possibilities that matched its signal. This is the mechanism of your best timeline. This is how it works at the quantum level. And this is what is activating in your field right now. But I want to address something that might be arising in you as you take this in. Because for many people, perhaps for you, there is a part of this that feels almost too good to be true. A part that says yes. But what about all the times I've tried to feel positive and nothing changed? What about all the times I've worked on my mindset and still struggled? What about all the evidence in my own life that things don't just shift because I feel good? This is an important question, and it deserves a real answer. The reason positive thinking alone doesn't change timelines is that positive thinking is a cognitive activity. It happens in the mind. And the mind, as powerful as it is, does not generate the electromagnetic field that interfaces with quantum probability. Your heart does. Your nervous system does. Your aura does. And your aura doesn't respond to what you think. It responds to what you actually feel, to the genuine emotional frequency that your heart is generating, not the one you're performing for yourself. This is the crucial distinction. You can think positive thoughts while your heart is broadcasting fear. You can affirm abundance while your nervous system is in a state of contraction. You can say all the right words while your field is radiating a completely different signal. And when that happens, The quantum field responds to your actual broadcast, the one coming from your heart, not to the words you're saying or the thoughts you're thinking. The quantum field is not fooled by performance. It reads your actual signal with perfect accuracy every time. This is why the practice we did earlier was not about thinking yourself into a better feeling. It was about actually generating a coherent emotional state in your body, in your heart, and letting that state radiate as your genuine broadcast, not performing gratitude, feeling it, not affirming abundance, inhabiting the frequency of it, even for a moment, with your whole body and field. The difference between performing a frequency and generating it is the difference between a stage set and a real building. One looks like the thing. The other is the thing. And this is also why the turning point you are at right now is real. Because something in your field has genuinely shifted, not because you've decided to think more positively, because something in your actual frequency has moved. Something in the electromagnetic signature your heart is generating has reached a new level of coherence. And that is what has brought you to this moment, to this transmission, to this recognition. Your field did this. Your light reached for this. And that reaching is real. Now let me show you something else about your aura that changes everything about how you understand your own power. Your personal energy field does not just broadcast outward, it also receives. It is simultaneously a transmitter and a receiver, and the frequencies it can receive are determined by the frequencies it is broadcasting. This is the principle of quantum resonance. Like attracts like, not as a moral law, but as a physical one. Your field can only receive signals that are in resonance with its own frequency. Signals that are wildly out of resonance with your field simply don't register. They pass through without interacting. They exist in the same physical space as your field, but in a different frequency layer. Inaccessible to a field that isn't broadcasting at a matching frequency. This is why people at very different frequencies can be in the same room and have completely different experiences of it. The person broadcasting fear will notice and attract the threatening signals in the environment. The person broadcasting love will notice and attract the warm, connecting signals. They are in the same physical space, but in different experiential realities, because their fields are interacting with different aspects of the quantum probability structure of that space. Same room, different worlds. Because different signals. This is also why your best timeline is not equally accessible from every frequency. There are aspects of your best life, people, opportunities, moments of beauty and connection and creative aliveness that exist at a frequency your current broadcast may or may not be able to receive. Not because those things are withholding themselves from you, not because you haven't earned them or don't deserve them, because your field at a lower frequency simply cannot detect them. They are there. They are real. They are part of the probability structure of your life. But they are only accessible when your aura is broadcasting and receiving at a frequency that resonates with them. This is the real meaning of raising your vibration. Not a new age platitude, a precise description of the process of tuning your electromagnetic field to a higher frequency, one that can both broadcast and receive the signals of your best timeline. When you raise your frequency, you don't just send a better signal. You also expand the range of signals you can receive. You open your field to possibilities that were always there but were outside your reception range. You become able to perceive, attract, and interact with aspects of your best life that were invisible from a lower frequency. And here is the extraordinary thing. The extraordinary, almost impossible to believe until you feel it thing. You don't have to reach your best timeline. You have to become receivable by it. Your best life is not waiting for you to be good enough, ready enough, healed enough, successful enough to deserve it. It is waiting for your field to broadcast at a frequency it can resonate with. It is waiting for your aura to become coherent enough to receive the signals it has been sending. It has always been sending. It has always been reaching toward you. The turning point is not the moment your best timeline starts moving toward you. It is the moment your field starts moving toward it. And you are at that moment, right now. That is what this is. I want to go into something specific about timelines and turning points that I think will help you understand why this moment is different from other moments when you felt hopeful or ready or on the verge of change. In quantum mechanics, there is a concept called quantum tunneling. It describes the phenomenon in which a particle passes through a barrier that, according to classical physics, it should not be able to penetrate. The barrier is real. The energy required to go over it is greater than the particle has. But quantum tunneling allows the particle to pass through the barrier, not over it, but through it. Because at the quantum level, the particle exists as a probability wave, and that wave has a non-zero probability of existing on the other side of the barrier. The particle doesn't overcome the barrier. It finds the quantum pathway through the probability structure that classical physics cannot account for. Quantum tunneling is not a metaphor for your life, but it is a model for something that happens in the trajectory of a personal energy field when it reaches a certain level of coherence. There are barriers in your life, patterns that have seemed immovable, circumstances that have seemed fixed, limitations that have seemed structural. And from the perspective of classical, ordinary consciousness physics, from the perspective of pushing against those barriers with willpower and effort and strategy alone, they are immovable. The energy required to go over them is greater than what you have. You have pushed against them. You have strategized around them. You have tried to dismantle them piece by piece, and they have remained. But a coherent energy field doesn't go over barriers. It tunnels through them. It finds the quantum pathway through the probability structure that conventional thinking cannot see. It discovers the opening that wasn't visible from the lower frequency vantage point. It moves through what seemed solid, because at the quantum level of your field's interaction with reality, nothing is as solid as it appears. What looks like a fixed wall from the classical perspective is, at the quantum level, a probability distribution. And a coherent field can find the pathway through that distribution that classical thinking cannot access. This is what happens at turning points. The field reaches coherence. The barriers that seemed immovable begin to yield, not because you pushed harder, but because your field found the quantum pathway through them. Opportunities appear from unexpected directions. People arrive who hold keys you didn't know existed. Circumstances reorganize in ways that seem almost miraculous and are, in fact, the natural result of a coherent field interacting with quantum probability. You cannot lose is not a promise that barriers don't exist. It is a description of what happens when your field is coherent enough to tunnel through them. Let me tell you about another person. His name was Orion, and he had spent 17 years trying to build a life that kept collapsing. Not for lack of trying, not for lack of intelligence or talent or genuine effort. He worked hard. He made plans. He executed those plans with discipline and care. He was, by any external measure, someone who was doing the things that were supposed to work, and things would build, would seem to be coming together, would seem to be finally arriving at the place he had been working toward. And then something would shift, and the structure would come apart. A business would almost succeed. A relationship would almost flourish. A creative project would almost find its audience. A breakthrough would arrive at the edge of his life, and then, inexplicably, recede. Almost. Orion had begun to believe that the almost was his destiny, that he was built for effort without a rival, that something in the structure of his life made success perpetually adjacent, but never actual. He had read the books. He had done the work. He had genuinely and with real commitment tried to believe differently, think differently, act differently. And still, the almost kept coming. Still, the threshold kept appearing and then retreating. What Orion didn't know was that his field was broadcasting a very specific signal. Not failure, not lack. Something more subtle and more powerful. His field was broadcasting the frequency of almost but not quite. It was radiating a signal that said, "I am the kind of person for whom things almost work out." And the quantum field, which does not judge, which simply responds, was delivering to him a reality that perfectly matched that broadcast. Almost. The signal had a source. It always does. Orion had grown up watching his father, a man of enormous talent and genuine effort, almost succeed at everything he tried. The business that nearly made it. The invention that nearly got funded. The opportunity that arrived just slightly too late. His father had carried the almost as a kind of noble burden, a badge of a man who gave everything and still fell just short. And Orion had absorbed it so completely that it had become the electromagnetic signature of his own field. He didn't choose it. He inherited it. He broadcast it unconsciously for 17 years. He worked against it consciously while broadcasting it unconsciously. And the unconscious broadcast won every time, because the quantum field responds to the actual signal, not the intended one. The turning point came not when Orion changed his strategy, not when he found a better business plan, or a more promising opportunity, or a more supportive partner. The turning point came when he became conscious of his signal. He was sitting quietly one evening, not meditating, not doing anything intentional, just sitting in the stillness after a long day, when he felt something in his chest that he had never consciously felt before. A kind of hum, a quality of energy around him that he could suddenly perceive, as if a light had been turned on in a room he'd been navigating in the dark. And in that quality of energy, he could feel the almost. He could feel the not quite. He could feel the frequency he had been broadcasting for 17 years without knowing it. He could feel the inherited signal running through his field like a current he had never chosen, but had been carrying his whole life. And in the same moment, he could feel something else. Underneath the almost, beneath the inherited pattern, a different frequency, a deeper signal, something that had been there all along, broadcasting from a layer of his field that the almost had been drowning out. Something that was not his father's frequency. Something that was entirely, unmistakably his own. It was the frequency of complete, of arrived, of fully here and fully real and fully received by life. It was his actual signal, the one beneath the conditioning, the one that was his nature rather than his inheritance, the one his field had been trying to broadcast all along, underneath the louder, more practiced frequency of almost. Orion sat with that frequency for a long time. He let it rise. He let it fill his chest and his field. He let it radiate. He let it be real, actually present, actually generating in his body rather than imagined in his mind. And he made a choice, not a cognitive decision, not a strategic plan, a frequency choice. He chose to broadcast from the deeper layer, to let the actual signal be the one that went out into the quantum field, to stop dimming his real frequency with the inherited one, to stop performing the almost and start inhabiting the arrived. The changes in his life did not happen overnight, but they happened, and they happened in ways he could not have planned or predicted. A conversation with a stranger that led to a partnership he hadn't imagined. A creative project that found its audience through a channel he hadn't considered. A relationship that arrived not from reaching or trying, but from simply being, fully, radiantly, consciously being, at his actual frequency. The almost stopped, not because life became perfect, because his field stopped broadcasting almost and started broadcasting arrived. And the quantum field, which does not judge, which simply responds, began delivering to him a reality that matched the new signal. Orion never forgot the feeling of that evening, the feeling of finding his real signal beneath the inherited one. He returned to it every day, not as a practice he forced himself through, but as a homecoming he genuinely wanted. because the frequency of his real nature felt better than anything he had ever tried to manufacture. It felt like truth. It felt like light. It felt like the particular relief of finally being exactly where you are supposed to be. Your real signal is underneath the inherited one. Your actual frequency, the electromagnetic signature of your genuine nature, not your conditioning, is broadcasting right now, beneath whatever patterns you absorbed from the world around you. And this transmission is helping you feel it. This moment is helping you find it. Feel it right now. Underneath whatever you've been broadcasting unconsciously. Underneath the fear, or the lack, or the almost. Underneath the inherited frequencies that were never really yours. Feel the real signal, the one that is yours, the one that says arrived, the one that says complete, the one that says I am here and I am real, and I am radiating at the frequency of my actual life. That's your light. It has always been on. You just needed the right moment to see it. Now I want to talk about something that is particularly important for people who are at a genuine turning point, because turning points have a specific energetic quality that, if you don't understand it, can actually cause you to step back from the threshold at the very moment you're closest to crossing it. Turning points feel unstable. They feel uncertain. They feel like the ground beneath you is shifting, because it is. The probability structure of your life is reorganizing. The quantum field is reconfiguring around your new signal. And in that reconfiguration, things that were fixed become fluid. Circumstances that seemed permanent begin to change. Relationships, situations, patterns that belonged to your old frequency begin to feel misaligned, because they are. They were assembled by your old broadcast, and your new broadcast is calling in different configurations. The old structures don't necessarily collapse violently, but they become loose. They begin to feel like clothes that no longer fit. And that looseness, that sense of your old life no longer sitting quite right on your body, can feel disorienting if you don't know what it means. This is not crisis. This is transition. But it can feel like crisis if you don't know what's happening. It can feel like things are falling apart when they are actually falling into place. It can feel like loss when it is actually liberation. It can feel like something going wrong when it is actually everything going right. Going right at the level of your field, at the level of your signal, at the level of the quantum reconfiguration that is assembling your new timeline around your new broadcast. The most common thing people do at turning points is retreat. They feel the instability, the uncertainty, the ground shifting, and they interpret it as evidence that something is going wrong. They contract their field back toward the familiar frequency, even if the familiar frequency was painful, because at least it's known. At least it's predictable. At least they know what to expect from the old timeline, even if what they expect is more of the same struggle. The familiar almost feels safer than the unfamiliar possibility, even when the possibility is the life they have always wanted. And when they retreat, the turning point fades. The probability structure that was reorganizing around the new signal begins to reassemble around the old one. The threshold they were standing at recedes, and they find themselves, months or years later, wondering why they always seem to get so close and then pull back, wondering what it is in them that keeps choosing the hallway over the room. I am telling you this because I want you to recognize the instability you may be feeling right now, or that you may feel in the coming days and weeks as your field continues to shift, as the signature of a genuine turning point, not as evidence that something is wrong. The instability is the reconfiguration. The uncertainty is the quantum field opening to new probability. The ground shifting beneath you is your life-making room for the version of itself that matches your new signal. The loose feeling of your old structures is the space being created for the new ones that are already assembling around your coherent broadcast. Stay at the threshold. Keep broadcasting. Keep choosing the frequency of your real nature, even when, especially when, the circumstances around you haven't caught up yet. Because there is a lag between the signal and the assembled reality. The quantum field is not instantaneous in the way it manifests at the physical level. There is a process of probability collapsing into actuality that takes time, sometimes days, sometimes weeks, sometimes longer. And in that lag, your job is to keep broadcasting, to keep your field coherent, to keep choosing the frequency of your best timeline even before you can see it fully manifesting around you. This is the faith that every spiritual tradition has pointed toward. Not blind faith in an external force, informed faith in the physics of your own field. The knowledge that your coherent broadcast is working even when you can't yet see the results. The understanding that the quantum field is responding to your signal even in the moments when the physical world around you hasn't yet reflected that response. The certainty, not hope, not wish, but certainty grounded in the mechanics of how fields and probability interact, that what you are broadcasting is already assembling its physical equivalent. It is already in process. It is already on its way. You cannot lose when you understand this, because losing requires giving up the signal. Losing requires retreating from the threshold. Losing requires contracting your field back to the old frequency and abandoning the new one. And when you understand what your field is doing, when you can feel your own signal, when you know your own light, retreat stops being attractive. It stops feeling like safety. It starts feeling like what it actually is, a choice to dim the light that is already on. And you are not going to dim your light. Not now. Not when you can feel it. Not when you know what it is and what it does and what it's calling in. Your light is on. It has always been on, and now it's conscious. And a conscious light is a different thing entirely. Let me give you a community question to sit with, and if you feel moved, to share in the comments. Because this transmission is not just reaching you individually, it is reaching a field of people, all of whom are at their own turning points, all of whom are standing at their own thresholds, all of whom are feeling the ground shift beneath them and choosing to stay rather than retreat. The question is this: think of a moment in your life when something arrived, an opportunity, a person, a realization, a turn of events that seemed to come from nowhere, but that, looking back, you can see was in perfect alignment with a frequency you had been quietly, internally, perhaps unconsciously broadcasting. A moment when the quantum field delivered something that matched a signal you didn't even know you were sending. A moment when the mirror of reality showed you something beautiful about the signal your field had been generating beneath your conscious awareness. Share that moment in the comments, not as proof of anything, not as a performance, as a recognition, as a way of making visible to yourself and to the field of people who are watching this with you the evidence that your field has always been working, that your aura has always been broadcasting, that the quantum field has always been responding, that nothing in your life has been random. Everything has been a response to a broadcast. And that means everything can change the moment the broadcast changes. Share your moment. See it. Let the field of conscious radiators around you see it with you. Because there is something that happens when a community of people begins to recognize their own signal together. A collective coherence that amplifies each individual field and makes the whole greater than the sum of its parts. Your recognition adds to the field. Your visibility strengthens the transmission. Your willingness to see your own light helps others see theirs. Now let's go into the integration layer of what we've been building together. Because everything we've explored today, the quantum mechanics of your aura, the turning point you're standing at, the parable of Soleil and Orion, the Radiance practice, the understanding of coherence and tunneling and strange attractors, all of it is pointing toward a single integration principle that I want to give you to carry with you. Here it is. Your best timeline is not ahead of you. It is the frequency you are broadcasting right now. Let me say that again, because it is the most important thing in this entire transmission. Your best timeline is not ahead of you. It is the frequency you are broadcasting right now. It is not a destination you are moving toward. It is a signal you are generating or not generating in every moment, with every breath, with every emotional state you inhabit, with every choice of where to direct your attention and your heart's electromagnetic signal. The timeline is not a place you arrive at. It is a frequency you inhabit. And you can inhabit it now, not someday, not when the circumstances align, not when you have done enough work, or healed enough wounds, or achieved enough external markers of readiness. Now, in this moment, with the field you have, with the signal you are capable of generating right now, when you broadcast the frequency of your best timeline, when your heart is generating the coherent signal of love, gratitude, aliveness, genuine presence, you are not moving toward your best timeline. You are inhabiting it. You are living from it. You are allowing it to assemble around you in the physical world, which takes time, but you are already in it at the level of your field. You are already there in the only place that matters first, the frequency layer. The physical manifestation is the echo of the signal, and the signal is already broadcasting. And when you broadcast a different frequency, fear, lack, contraction, the almost, you are not failing to reach your best timeline. You are simply broadcasting from a different frequency, and the quantum field is assembling a different configuration of reality around that signal. The moment you return to your real frequency, the assembly process returns to your best timeline. It is always available. It is always responding. It is always there. You can never permanently lose access to it because it is not outside you. It is the frequency of your own nature, and your nature is indestructible. This is what makes you unconquerable. This is what makes the thumbnail true. You cannot lose, because losing would require you to permanently abandon your real frequency. And your real frequency is your nature. You can drift from it. You can be pulled away from it by fear or conditioning or circumstance. You can broadcast the inherited almost for 17 years. You can stand in the hallway of your own life for decades, but you cannot permanently lose your real signal, because it is what you are. It is the electromagnetic signature of your genuine nature. It is the frequency your field returns to when you stop forcing it away. Like Soleil's river finding its channel. Like Orion's real signal emerging beneath the inherited one. Your field keeps returning to its natural frequency. And your natural frequency is the signal of your best timeline. You cannot lose. Not because nothing difficult will happen. Not because the path will always be smooth. Not because quantum tunneling means you never feel the barrier. But because your real signal, the one that calls in your best life, is indestructible. It is built into the structure of who you are. And every time you choose it, every time you consciously broadcast from it, you strengthen it. You make it more coherent. You make it more powerful. You make it more capable of tunneling through whatever barriers still stand between you and the full physical manifestation of what it's calling in. This is your integration principle. This is what to carry with you. I am not moving toward my best timeline. I am broadcasting it right now, in this moment. And every moment I choose my real frequency, it becomes more real in my world. Feel that. Let it settle into your body. Let it become the organizing principle of how you move through your days. Let it be the question you ask yourself in the morning when you first open your eyes. What am I broadcasting right now? And let it be the return you make 100 times throughout the day. A return to coherence, to your real signal, to the frequency of the life that is actually yours. Now, I want to close with something that I feel is important to say directly to you. Not to a general audience, to you specifically, the person who clicked on this video, the person whose field called this in, the person who has been carrying something for a long time and is finally, in this moment, beginning to set it down. You have been carrying something for a long time, a weight that isn't yours, a frequency that isn't your nature, a broadcast that you absorbed from the world around you before you were old enough to choose your own signal. You absorbed it from people who loved you and were themselves broadcasting unconsciously. You absorbed it from a culture that doesn't yet understand that you are a field, that you broadcast, that what you broadcast shapes everything. You absorbed it from experiences that taught your nervous system to contract, to protect, to dim. And you have been doing your best, genuinely your best, to live a real life while broadcasting a frequency that was never really yours. That ends now, not with a dramatic proclamation, not with a performance of transformation, with a quiet, certain, luminous recognition, a recognition that is itself a frequency shift, a recognition that is itself the beginning of the new broadcast. This is the moment you become conscious of your signal. This is the moment you feel your own field and choose to broadcast from your real nature rather than your inherited conditioning. This is the moment the turning point turns, not because of anything outside you, but because of the choice you are making right now, in this moment, to see your own light and to let it be on. You have been glowing your whole life, even in the darkest moments, even when you felt most contracted, most afraid, most lost, even when the almost felt like your permanent address, even when the hallway felt like the only room you were allowed to inhabit. Your light was on. Your field was broadcasting. Your aura was reaching into the quantum field and doing its best to call in the life that matched your signal, even when that signal was buried under layers of inherited frequency and unconscious conditioning. And now that signal is becoming conscious. And a conscious signal is a laser, a coherent beam of luminous electromagnetic energy that interfaces with quantum probability at a completely different level of power than an unconscious scatter of light. The same light, infinitely more powerful, infinitely more precise, infinitely more capable of drawing toward you the specific, beautiful, genuinely alive configuration of reality that belongs to your highest trajectory. You are about to experience what it means to broadcast consciously, to choose your frequency deliberately, to maintain your coherence even when the circumstances around you are still catching up to your new signal, to stand at the threshold of your best timeline and stay there, not retreating, not contracting, not dimming your light because the world hasn't yet rearranged itself to match it, to trust the lag, to know that the assembly is in process, to feel the physics of your own field working even in the moments when the physical world hasn't yet shown you the evidence. You are going to stay. You are going to keep broadcasting. You are going to keep returning to the frequency of your real nature every time you drift. And every time you return, your signal will be stronger, your coherence will be greater. Your field will reach further into quantum probability and draw toward you more of what belongs to your best timeline. The channel deepens with every return. The signal strengthens with every conscious choice. The attractor grows more powerful with every moment you broadcast from your real nature rather than your inherited one. This is not a hope. This is not an aspiration. This is the physics of your own energy field, understood and consciously directed. This is what happens when a human being stops living at the mercy of their unconscious broadcast and starts living from the deliberate, coherent, luminous signal of their actual nature. You cannot lose, not as a platitude, as a precise description of what happens when a field reaches coherence and stays there. When a person stops dimming their light and lets it be what it actually is. When a human being, with all their complexity, all their history, all their inherited frequencies and unconscious broadcasts, chooses in a single moment to become conscious of their own signal and to broadcast from their real nature. You made that choice today by being here, by listening, by letting these words land in your field and activate what was already there, by feeling your own light and recognizing it as yours, by staying at the threshold rather than retreating, by choosing to know what you now know and carry it with you rather than setting it down the moment this transmission ends. Your aura is active. Your signal is conscious. Your field is broadcasting the frequency of your best timeline, and the quantum field is responding right now in ways you can already feel, even if you can't yet see them, in ways that are assembling around your signal, reorganizing the probability structure of your life, drawing toward you the people and the opportunities and the moments of beauty and connection and aliveness that belong to your highest trajectory. The assembly is in process. The response is already underway. The echo of your new broadcast is already moving through the probability structure of your life, finding its physical form, making its way toward you. Welcome to your turning point. Welcome to the moment everything changes. Welcome to the beginning of your best timeline, not as a future destination, but as the frequency you are broadcasting right now. Welcome to the understanding that changes the entire relationship between you and your life. Welcome to the knowledge that you are not a passive recipient of whatever reality decides to deliver. You are a broadcasting field. You are a signal. You are a coherent, luminous, powerful electromagnetic presence that participates in the collapse of quantum probability into lived experience. Every moment, every breath, every heartbeat. If this transmission moved something in your field, consider returning to it during a moment of morning stillness, or in the quiet just before sleep, when your field is most receptive and the signal lands deepest. Let it be a tuning instrument. Let it be a way of returning to your real frequency on the days when the inherited one gets loud again. Because it will get loud again. That is not failure. That is the nature of deep patterns. And having a way to return, a transmission that reliably brings you back to the feeling of your own signal, is one of the most powerful tools you can have. And if someone in your life is standing at their own threshold, someone whose light needs reminding, someone who has been broadcasting almost for too long, someone who is pressing their ear to the door of their own life and wondering why it never fully opens, share this with them. That act of sharing is itself a radiant one. It activates their awareness of their own field, creates a resonance between your auras, and adds one more conscious signal to the collective luminosity we are all building together. The field of conscious radiators is growing. Every person who wakes up to their own signal adds to the coherence of the whole. Your sharing is not just a kind gesture. It is a quantum act. Your light is on. It has always been on. Now you know it. And knowing it changes everything. Shine. Not because you should. Not because it's the right thing to do. Not because someone told you to. Not because you've decided to become a more positive person. Because that's what you are. Because at the quantum level, in the electromagnetic signature of your heart's field, in the aura that reaches several feet beyond your body in every direction and interfaces with the probability structure of physical reality, you are a radiating field of luminous energy. You are a broadcast. You are a signal. You are light that has been on since the moment you arrived in this world, and that will be on until the moment you leave it. And your light, fully conscious, fully coherent, fully directed toward the life that is actually yours, is the most powerful creative force in your personal universe. Not willpower, not strategy, not the right circumstances or the right timing or the right connections. Your coherent, conscious, deliberately directed electromagnetic field. Your aura tuned to the frequency of your real nature. Your heart broadcasting the signal of your actual life. That is the most powerful creative force available to you. And you have had access to it your entire life. You are simply, finally, beginning to use it deliberately. Use it every day, every moment you remember. Every time you feel yourself drifting toward the old frequency, return. Come home to your signal. Come home to your light. Come home to the frequency of your best timeline, which is not ahead of you, but broadcasting right now from the center of your chest into the quantum field that is always, always listening. The quantum field never stops listening. It never stops responding. It never stops assembling reality around the signal it receives. And the signal it's receiving from you right now is the most coherent, most conscious, most luminous signal you have ever broadcast. You are at the turning point. You have always been at the turning point, and now you know it. Congratulations. You cannot lose. Welcome to your own light. Welcome home.